So, welcome people back to the last part of Shining Wisdom, in which we are going to take care of the remaining two bosses in the final dungeon, as well as the final boss.
Who represent, like, ice and earth or something?
Well, technically lightning and ice, but yes.
Oh.
We don't have an earth orb.
There's wind, there's lightning, and they're separate things, and this is not like Golden Sun at all, and I am disappointed.
Yeah, like, actually there is earth, but it's sand. I don't ask. See?
I feel like you could shoot him with, you could run in, bop him with your sword, and then run away. I don't think you need to just be sitting there spamming your bill.
The thing is, you can't really run very fast.
Oh, you died.
I died. He can kill you very quickly.
Yeah, but myself, as, you know, being the greatest Shining Wisdom player of all time, I do this whole thing, you know, with the starter sword. I don't even get the Shining Sword.
Yeah, because you never actually got it. You skipped past so many. But yeah. For this boss, I am going to be using the fire, or at least at the very beginning, I'm going to be using the fire one. Just for a little bit of a variation, because
when you are up in the air, none of his attacks can hit you, right? Or can some of his attacks hit you?
It doesn't seem that way. And also the fire goes in many random directions, as you can see, and all of these embers do actually hurt him, which is very helpful. You want to avoid these, this little piece of dirt like fire, because they hurt you really bad.
They hurt you just like they were little pieces of fire.
Yeah, it's almost as though elements don't really matter, and it's just like it's damage. But yeah, it seems that actually jumping into the air lets you avoid most of the damage that isn't, in the air. Did you see that?
So, but he is the Earth Djinn.
He is the Earth Djinn, but he uses lightning. This is the confusing part.
So,
he's using the spark orb. I mean, like the orb that corresponds with him is the spark one.
And the Airbender world, wasn't, like, lightning part of fire?
It was. And usually most JRPGs, if you have it, like, connected with some sort of other elements, it's usually air.
Yeah, that's pretty standard in RPGs. That's the way it is in Divinity.
Mm-hmm. Or like even in Tell's games, it's usually something like fire and air or something like that, and never ground. Ground is usually the complete opposite. And
because if you think about it, like, you know, the ground is used to discharge things. So, although I suppose, you know, if you think about it, there's two parts in most lightning strikes are cloud to cloud, but like, lightning strikes the earth, so I guess
it could be charged, I guess.
Yeah, there you go.
It's even more annoying when he actually jumps inside of you, because then you constantly get hurt by him once your invincibility period is over. But yeah, now we just need to leave and go to the last boss. Go to the last boss, which is
so you defeat all the djinns, but it doesn't matter because the guy gets summoned anyway.
Well, we will see.
So, what was the point of fighting these dudes? Wasting our time, or is it that we're being tricked into fighting them because they really prevent him from being resurrected?
You know, the main reason is because we actually cannot approach the final boss until the elemental powers are taken away. Remember how when I was getting the Gale Orb, I was getting blasted by different elemental attacks. Now, if I were to come back to him right now... So,
what you're telling me is, this game is the basis for Breath of the Wild. Because you've got the main bad dude, and you can go fight him right away, but he'll have all of the protections of all of his, sub-captains.
I didn't get to sleep, but no. Yeah, I guess the idea is very similar. However, you literally cannot fight the final boss until you have.
What happens if you freeze this?
There was something about freezing it. However, I found a much easier strategy. Don't move. Don't move when when the thing is underwater, and then he will not know where you are, and just throw his attacks in random directions.
Even though really you're making a whole bunch of splashes because you're running in place.
Exactly. I'm just shuffling. But yeah, this is actually how I had a lot of trouble with this boss fight first time around, because I kept moving when he was underwater, because that was like the general instinct, where he's just like, oh, he's underwater, he's going to like attack me if I don't move. But no, it's actually the complete opposite. He's going to attack me when I move.
Well, this definitely is the easiest of the fights so far, or you found the best strategy.
It's either the easiest or the hardest. I believe there is something that you can do with freezing the water, like when he emerges from the from the water. Then now I remember you can keep him in place when he emerges from the water, but also you don't want to freeze the water when he's underneath it, because then the boss fight just does not go forward.
Oh.
He just stays there for a while.
You trapped him.
Like, not forever, but,
Because he can't breathe ice.
But yeah, this is definitely the best way to do it. Don't get close to him. Don't move when... move when he dives, and you'll be fine.
What a riveting fight.
Well, I mean, I liked it better than what I was doing the first time I played this, where I kept running and he just kept emerging right underneath me, killing me in 3 hits, wasting all of my herbs.
And Leon needs those.
Exactly. He needs a few more kinds in order, to be the most efficient at his job. Yeah. But I just need honey lattes, really. And that was the last of the Djinns, and now I finally can get my sleep.
All right, good job, well done. Djinns defeated. Time to sleep.
Exactly. Well, I'm beat. I'm going off to bed.
Yeah. And weirdly, you sleep standing up. That's just what you do.
Exactly.
It's not like they're so comfy that you can sleep lying down anywhere. They're so comfy that you just fall asleep on your feet.
Yeah, they're just so magical. But yeah, I could have walked there, but may as well. I was trying to actually. Oh yeah. First, I want to make a last little visit to the castle, because I still have that money and I want to buy some more herbs. Can never have enough herbs.
I mean, why do you keep saying honey latte? Why do you think herbs are used in honey lattes?
Oh, basically that's a thing with Shining Force Neo. I think I told you about it, but like that is one of the sequels to the Shining series. Which was on the PS2. It was a Diablo clone. Gameplay-wise, it was amazing, but it had some of the worst writing. Like, period, just period. It's like my go-to terrible writing game. And one of the early instances of hilarious instances of that is a conversation between a few characters, and they just repeat the word herb so many times in that conversation. Okay. And also I think at that point in time when they were when they were translating the script, they weren't sure what type of audience this game was going to be aimed at, so they made it like appropriate for kids. So they replaced references to alcohol with honey lattes.
Yeah, I drink way too many honey lattes, and
when he drinks all of his favorite honey lattes, man, he has a sweet tooth.
He just he has a wild and crazy night.
But the best part was, in the end, they had references to alcohol, people dying, and blood in the game anyway.
Right, because they got lazy partway through this whole process.
Yeah, and not to mention many instances of just like them having flashbacks to scenes which didn't actually happen, or like a very obviously modified dialogue because they forgot.
So,
but I'm pretty sure the Japanese script was already like bad. Because there is no way they could have come up with half of the shit that game script had going on for it, you know?
Oh yeah, I mean, the translation just makes it more interesting and more terrible.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, the guy is still there.
Yeah, he's
our
buddy.
Still
alive. I could have asked somebody in the castle, but no, I'm too busy.
I mean, you've got places to be. You got record books to collect.
I've got Sexy Ganon to beat.
Who is sitting on the giant's hand.
Yes, and now we defeat him.
But we don't defeat the giant.
Nope. Now, Sexy Ganon has several attacks, a lot of range things, and in general, this fight is actually best done without using any of the elemental orbs. This is the first and only time it takes a little bit too long, and he can hit you from many directions, many places, you know. And you can do a whole lot more damage by just smacking him repeatedly while having the strength orb equipped, which is what I
think would have been a better idea for all the Djinns too.
No, because it's actually really hard to get close to Djinns. When it comes to him, it's hard to not get hit while keeping your distance. Also, he requires way more hits than any of the Djinns. So there is also that. And I can hit him repeatedly with this, with my stubby sword, whereas with the Djinns they always had like a really low vulnerability period, which was way easier accessible from
the water Djinn was just sitting there for like 5 years.
Oh, the water Djinn,
and the
yes, but you can only hit him for a very short
minute. The wind guy, he just stopped moving after he spun for like 5 seconds. Well, I'm telling you, the speedrun strats, Nico, as the best Shining Wisdom player ever, I can tell you that the speedrun strats are to just use the sword and strength orb.
And so he is over.
What? I feel like his motivations weren't well established.
You think so? You think maybe this game's writing is not the top of the world?
You know, typically he'd be the villain because his little sister got sick and died, and he was forever bitter about it, and he decided that he was more important than the entire rest of the world. But he's just brain. He just wants to take over the world.
He's evil. He's just plain evil. That's it.
And that's where we get the bad ending, and we go to hell and have to hang out with the villain and his poorly developed motivations forever. I'm so worried.
There are so many places I could possibly be.
Aren't you worried? I'm worried.
Sorry, I'm going home. I've spent half a minute here.
Yeah, what?
Searching for you.
It's a marsh, you know? It's pretty easy to...
It's pretty easy to spot him. He's got red hair.
Well, that, and it's pretty easy to, like, you know, fall in and survive. It's not like you were in a...
I had so many herbs.
Well, I mean, it's not like you were falling into an endless canyon or something, you know? You just fell off a rock into a marsh.
Well, we'll see about that. I honestly really do not like this, like this section of the ending. Because, like, everybody's congratulating this guy, and everybody's so down on my character, even though he was doing pretty much everything along, like up until now, whereas everybody else was sitting on their ass doing nothing.
Well, I mean, it's a believable story, you know. The wrong people get credit for things all the time.
That is true. I just like. To be fair, they like have some sort of a build-up for it, because like everybody was dissatisfied with the fact that your character was not capable of actually getting all of the Dijin orbs on time, like preventing the bad guys from reaching their goal. But yeah, just like he could be explaining things a little bit better.
Well, you know how it is with anime and games. Like, not talking is a sign of being very passionate about something.
Yeah, our character is definitely the most...
Yeah, your character is very passionate. That's why he never talks.
That's why he never said a thing, and his face only appeared several times throughout the story.
That's the true wisdom, is to not ever talk.
Is to not shine in the face of fame, you know?
Yes. To be humble. Had to sneeze there. So, in a weird twist, the blue hair people are the more common ones.
Huh? Weird. I mean, almost as if this game was made in Japan, where a lot of people have dark hair.
Which it can often be represented by a dark shade of blue.
Yeah, because, you know, that's actually what they do for most of the anime, because, you know, actual black just did not work too well on the old displays.
Never stopped Hiei. Also, I found out that it's Kuwabara, not Kuwabara.
Kuwabara?
I'm talking about Yu Yu Hakusho again now. It's because, like, in the dub, they say Kuwabara, but, like, in the original, it's like Kuwabara, you know? It's like even emphasis.
Yeah, you know, different pronunciation,
Japanese.
different languages.
But I think that I like the dub better than the. I did hear the dub first, having first seen it on Toonami, of course. But I like the dub better than the sub. I think that the voice actor that they got for Kuwabara is really good, and I think that the Yusuke and Rose dude, I can never remember his name. Their names are too similar. Their voices are too similar. They're not distinct enough in the original recording. It doesn't, like, they look very different, but their voices aren't sufficiently different.
Yeah, actually, for the most part, for these animes, I do like the dubs better, even if they're not super accurate to what it was.
Yeah, and the dubbed theme song is pretty good.
Mm.
But there are some cases where dub is really bad. Like
Yeah, definitely.
But
for the most part, when there is no tragedy, I prefer the dubbed version.
we're losing points with all the anime purists right now.
Exactly. Let's keep going.
Also, it looks like that looks like a close up of human skin that you're underneath you. Are you on the giant now?
We're on the marsh.
Oh. Wait, I forgot that we looked like that. We have blonde hair. I forgot.
Yeah, we have blonde hair in the anime portrait. We have the red hair in our actual model, and we have a helmet on the cover art.
Oh, you're dying?
Lejen,
For some reason?
Dobra.
Why did you die?
Because we fell into the marsh. I ran out of herbs.
Oh, okay. You were killed in the cutscene.
Mm-hmm.
You beat the boss, but died in the cutscene.
Exactly.
They're all saying no.
They're all shuffling.
I feel like maybe head shaking happens a lot more in Japan because... Oh wait, no, that's just Camelot. Just Camelot thing.
That's just Camelot because they want to point out who's actually talking at the moment. They need to either move, change direction, or just bend out of shape for a moment.
I heard you've been talking mad shit! And then you slay them all for talking crap about you.
Exactly.
Go on a rampage.
Just speed up and walk into everybody else, like we always do. And then they just explode into money.
Yeah. And fire. You're no longer Sir Mars. She jumped on your sword and died.
It's fine. She cannot be harmed, remember?
Oh, that's right. That's right. She can't.
She's kind of suicidal like that, you know. And that was Shining Wisdom.
What is this guy's name? And they're not gonna tell us? Okay.
No.
I thought they were gonna do the Kirby thing where they tell you the name of all the enemies.
I was hoping for that too, because I want to know what half of these animals are called like.
The names in the Kirby enemies are really fun too.
Mm-hmm. And I bet there are, they do actually have proper names. It's just that you're never gonna find them. It's just it's probably just in some Japan only guide or something like that.
Are you telling me you don't have the instruction booklet for this game?
No, it's super rare.
I mean, if it I bet that the
you're thinking that there is maybe a PDF of it somewhere on the internet?
Yeah. I bet that someone's
It's possible.
I guess the problem, though, actually, because I remember from when I was looking this up earlier, when I said I bet that there was something else for this game, nobody liked this game.
That seems to be the exact case scenario. But I liked it.
Well, yeah, but Nico, you aren't a human.
That's true. But yeah, that was Shining Wisdom. I honestly, when I started playing this game, I did not enjoy it at all. It was clumsy, it was hard, it was very difficult to understand what you were supposed to be doing based on its heritage as a Zelda-like game. But like at the end, when you accept that some things are just different, that you are going to get hit, that the enemies just do respawn endlessly, and you should ignore them. It's one of the most fun adventure-like games you're gonna find, especially on the Sega Saturn.
And you don't actually care about tight combat.
No, because the exploration made it very fun for me. There are other games where like tight combat is way better, and they deliver on that, definitely. I'm not gonna say that. Like as a whole, I would say, Zelda games, the 2D Zelda games are better. Say like Minish Cap or Link to the Past.
Awakening. Link to the Past.
Yeah.
What's that one other one? Not the Oracle, but the other Game Boy one. Oh, whatever. Anyway.
But yeah, like those games are definitely way better put together, way more polished. But this one has that thing that I really enjoy about, say, the Harry Potter games, where it feels like there was, like somebody was consulting an 8-year-old about what they wanted to see in their game, and you just don't replicate it very well anywhere else. It's something special.
And you didn't even 100% it. I feel betrayed.
Exactly.
Oh, it knows what time it was, so there you
go. Yeah, but it was actually way long. It's actually way longer than what I have edited in the end.
Because the sequel had to happen.
No, actually, I don't think any of the sequels come back to this.
Oh, so you have to go find Navi.
Basically, because she decided to break the laws of nature and bring back Mars from the dead, she was locked up in the labyrinth. But sadly,
this really is like a game that I feel like now, having seen it, that Shigeru Miyamoto must have played this game.
Definitely, it's just like.
Because probably what happened was someone said, "Hey, you should check this out. They ripped off your stuff," and then he went and played it, and he's like, "Well, there are some neat ideas in there." Because there's a few things that you really like. Seem to have very direct.
Direct connection
to
in later.
Yeah.
Like I said, I wish. I wish, like, this game has a lot of charm. Well, it doesn't have too much polish. It makes it up for with its charm, with all of these useless items, which are just funny and nothing else. With a lot of the special little things, like the freaking Daytona minigame out of fucking nowhere, a freaking karate suit. Or a whole bunch of references to Sega-related things, which are totally not fitting to the universe.
You didn't show me all of the combinations of orbs and items. I feel betrayed.
I mean, that's for you to find out as a master of Shining Wisdom.
You're right. You're right. As the world's best Shining Wisdom player, that's for me to try out. I just, I found out the best one and just stuck with that. There's so much left to do.
Exactly.